welcome back. We had a 7-day break from the NBA grind, did some NHL, we did some college basketball. I did a collaboration video with Sharp Bets and Skywalker. Hopefully that'll be uploaded to my channel soon. I was having some issues with it, but you can find it over on Skywalker's channel right now. If you are new to this channel, I'm not just going to be some other talking head covering prize picks and fantasy sports and trying to spoon feed you like everyone else. I'm going to try to give you the fundamental process to turn you in from a broke poverty player into a capable winning player. Doing this hobby we all love and enjoy, and hopefully you stick around, hopefully you learn something, and if you don't, that's fine with me too. But the fact of the matter is this, I'm gonna give it my all. And with that being said, folks, we have a ton to cover, so go ahead, get your favorite snack, a Red Bull, popcorn, whatever have you, gummy bears, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and let's get this thing started. Right out of the gate, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the DGF optimizer and see if we can find any plus EV value, that is expected value, and see which lines are here that can give us some sort of value. Okay, and as you can see, Jason Tatum R plus A 14.5, it's 55% to go under. It's juiced. My brothers and sisters in Christ, you want to talk about a juiced line, but notice what is missing. The pinnacle line is not there. Folks, this is an amazing tool. I use it on the daily. What it does is it gets all the other sportsbook lines and compares it to Prizepicks line or underdog or parlay play, wherever you're going to go, and it does it in real time. Absolutely. Now, there is a way to use this to your advantage, and I explain how to use all this in more in my Discord. But if you're interested in this, the link is in the description, or you can just use promo code CRUSH. You will get a discount. Give it a shot. But as you can see, what we're going to cover first is Anthony Davis over 17.5 R plus A. Now, a lot of people think this line is too high. It's the highest it's ever been, but try to separate your emotional biases from everything you do when it comes to betting. So 17.5 R plus A, you can see here, it's minus 130, minus 130, minus 130. So you know that you're not going to have to pay that vig on Prizepicks, so you can go there and take advantage of their fixed payouts or even parlay play or wherever it is where you can get the fixed payout structure. You can see all these. I'm going to talk about this some more in my Discord today in the live streams like I always do. But what I personally do is that I go on here, it saves me time, I find the value, then I make my own projection sheets using my own model and I compare the two. And when they both are in harmony, bang, it makes my list. It makes my Discord list. It's that simple. So during that break, we had a lot of things to cover. We had NHL, we had college basketball, we had PGA. I did it all. I don't do these sports. I don't cover these sports, which is why I didn't do a YouTube video. But what I do have is a winning process. I know these numbers. It doesn't matter the sport. If you're good at game theory and you're good at research, you can be a profitable sports bettor in the long run if you're willing to put in the work and slow and steady grind. Now, what am I talking about? Well, humor me here for a second. Now, most of you that are in my Discord, you already know this stuff, but the fact is yesterday I put out a 25x slip and it happened to cash. Now, that's 3 days in a row. Personally, I've hit 25x slips on sports that I do not cover. I don't waste my resources or time researching them. Now, how can that be? How can that be possible? Well, again, I use the mathematical approach where I take the plus EV bets on these sports, number one. Number two, I apply game theory. Here it is right here. 4 of 4. All of these. DeBrusque, Gunther, Dahlin, and Matthews. Do I watch hockey and know any of these players? Absolutely not. But that's the best part of betting in 2024. You don't need to watch the sport if you have a fundamental solid process of how this works. You can literally just go find the value, plug it in on Prizepicks, sit back and wait and hopefully hit. It's that simple. 25x, there it was. Another one, 3x with esports, and another one that went 5 of 6 because Jaden Epps decided to sell. There was actually another 5 of 6 that I made last minute too that hit. It went 2x. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on here, but a lot of people got in the mix if they tailed. I put these in my Discord under this tab, Captain Slips. This is where they were right here last night. All those slips that just hit, they're right here in my Discord. Bang. Now, I'm not trying to be braggadocious here, folks, but people even in my own Discord forget to tail because for whatever reasons, but I'm not telling you, it doesn't matter if you tail me or somebody else. Whatever you do, use bankroll management because these are the type of days, the day that I had yesterday and the day before that are the type of days that will cover my month of February. If I go on a 7-day losing streak in the NBA, God forbid, it happened. So it's imperative that you're tailing those slips when you can. At least throw a 5 piece on it, a little nickel, whatever it is that that you want to do that's going to make you feel better, make sure that you tail the leader of this Discord, okay? I tell you guys that all the time. Now, another one on February 20th, right here, I posted it in the Discord. You take the public, everything that the public likes, you just take the opposite. Bang! It was that easy. 5 of 6, 4 of 4, and 6 of 6 for 25x, folks. It's that simple. Those popular tabs on Prizepicks are there for a reason. They're there to show you what the public is doing. You don't want to be doing what the public is doing. The public doesn't know anything about everything. Think about that for a second. Figure it out, write it down, drill it into your brain, and repeat it until it makes sense. If everybody likes it, you want to go the opposite way, especially on low market sport, okay? Because they're all going to flock to whatever the last 5 is green, whatever the last 5 is red for the unders, and that's how they do their plays. Like I said, there is game theory to this, okay? It's in fantasy sports such as DraftKings and FanDuel. The whole thing is game theory, but also in an application like Prizepicks, now that they're showing us where all the public money is going, you can literally just Uno reverse the public, and I'm telling you, you can have success. That is where game theory comes into play, okay? Now, before the comment guy sits there and says, oh, he's just telling us to take the opposite on the public. No, it's not that simple, but I'm just saying it's one facet of something that can help you in your own process. The point is, the bottom line here is avoid the public consensus. They don't know jack, okay? There's sharp and there's dumb money. Avoid the dumb money bet. This is how you can know who knows what they're doing and who is lost in the sauce, because it doesn't matter what sport it is. MLB, WNBA, PGA, NBA, NFL. If you have the fundamental process down, which I teach in my Discord, folks, you will be successful. Will you be successful overnight? Absolutely not. Nothing is easy. You have to stay hungry. You know who the hungriest animal in the jungle is? It's the lion, because he stays hungry, and that, my friends, is why he's king of the jungle, okay? You have to want this like you want air. Otherwise, you're literally just a recreational gambler, which is totally fine, but don't be upset when you win or lose. Now, most of you are probably like, yeah, get to the picks, Cap, get to the picks. But the fact is, I had to tell you guys this. I'm celebrating the big day that I had yesterday. It was a massive day. Even Tech tailed. A lot of people tailed. I fed the court. I did my job. Romelius was helping people with esports. That is that. So to celebrate that, folks, I'm going to do this one time. Now, I normally don't like doing this stuff, but I told you guys earlier, a week or two, if you go to captaincrush.net, I'll have the link in the comments. It's also in the description. The gold package, okay, for new users only. So miss me with the, I'm a former user and I want to get back in cheap. It's normally $25 a month, but because I dominated the 7 days off, I'm going to do 50% off one time. You use promo code CRUSH50 and you'll get in my Discord for like $13. I think it checks out to be. You click this, it'll take you through the Dub Club portal, which I had a very productive meeting with Dub Club yesterday, and it turns out that I am in the very top of retention. And what does that mean? It means when you do go to my Discord and people join, they end up sticking around month after month. And the reason for that is because I provide value, okay? Not only do you get my favorite plays, but you get me Monday through Friday on a live stream, a live microphone, just like this, talking, breaking it down, helping you guys. You get the plays, you get my projection sheets that look just like this. Player name, points, rebounds, assists, steal, block, turnovers, the projections, so you can make your own slips. I have every player and I even color coordinate it. This is just an example. You get access to this, and you also get in my Discord, which will give you the general chat, all my slips, you can ask me questions. I analyze everything. I do giveaways all the time in my Discord. We have a good time. Speaking of which, I'm going to cover that in a second, but the fact is, again, it's promo code CRUSH50. Once you click here and go to the Dub Club, it's going to be this, the 1 month. You click add promo code. You have to type in CRUSH50 in all caps, and as you can see, it'll be $12.50 for your first month. After that, it's $24.99. If you don't think you're getting your money's worth, cancel. If you think you're getting your money's worth, which over 85% of people that join do, stick around and let's crush, and I will turn you into a better fantasy sports player than when I found you. But on top of that, you get access to all the dudes in my court that are goats. RJ Senses, I told you to watch the video today. The bro's a goat. It's my mother's birthday. He found out. He sent me like $40 just because and said, get your mother something nice. That's the type of people in my community that I have. It's a random act of kindness. And then obviously I couldn't accept it, so I paid it forward and gave it to the other people in my Discord. That is the type of community that I am fostering and growing for the most part. Yeah, we do have a couple of Joe Schmoes that try to cause chaos, but I get rid of them him as fast as I see him. So hopefully that incentivizes to get new people in the mix. Again, it's Crush 50, all caps, 50% off, new users only. I hope to see you in the mix. And I will be having a live stream today at 4:30 Central. So if you do sign up and you get in there, you will be able to get to the live stream and see what it's all about. I hope to see you there. That's it. That's as cheap as it's going to get. $12.50. I paid more for Starbucks today than that. So miss me with the tears, guys. That's me doing the Lord's work for you guys to get you in the mix. After that collaboration video I did with DG Skywalker and Sharp Bets, I was feeling motivated to help new people, and that is that. Now, with all that in mind, after the plugs, after the crush session, after the process, the game theory, which I teach in the cord, let's talk about NBA today. If you've made it this far, then you're the type of person that Captain Crush wants to be in the mix. Now let's get cooking. Tyrese Halliburton. Now keep in mind, everybody's back. They had a 7-day break just like your boy did. We're ready to cook. We're not going with unders today. Nobody wants to take unders. They got ring rust. Yeah, maybe. But the fact is, maybe it's time we go back to old Tyrese Halliburton. In fact, let's go see what our handy dandy notepad has to say about this and see if we can find some supporting data, okay? Tyrese Halliburton, 1.54 fantasy points per minute with a 25% usage rate. Folks, it's time for simple math with Captain Crush. 1.54 times 35 minutes and bang, you get 53. Is it an exact science? No, it's an average. That's what his fantasy point per minute is on average. So I honestly feel okay going to Mr. Tyrese Halliburton and taking more on 46 fantasy score, okay? Now the matchup for him is going to be cupcake. I'm not afraid of the Pistons, but here's what you need to know. Here's the cliff notes, if you will. Tyrese has failed to exceed 45 fantasy score in 7 of his last 9, but he was on that injury. He was playing limited. Look at this. 34, 34, 30, 25, 29, 20, 20, 21, 34. He was in the mix with an injury. Now he started to come back on 212, 214, 34 minutes. If this game stays close, he just had another long break. He should be healthy. He should be ready to cook. Now, if you don't want to go to Tyrese Halliburton's fantasy score, I don't blame you. That's fine, whatever. I'm not here to spoon feed you. Make your own reads, but you have to consider his rebounds, his assists, even his R plus A. Where is it? 15.5. All of these are in play, okay? The fantasy score gives you access to all of it. The rebounds is solid. The assist is solid. It has crispy push equity, and the R plus A is absolutely in the mix too at 15.5. Again, the theory is he's back. He's in a cupcake matchup. I showed you his fantasy score per minute. Hopefully he comes out and gets it done. We're going to need the game to stay close. It does have a high total. They do have a high implied team point total. So maybe consider Tyrese Halliburton tonight in your contest. Now let's move on. There is 12 games. There is a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to condense this and save it for mainly the live stream. We got the New York Knicks taking on the poverty 76ers because they're poverty without Joel Embiid. I don't care who you are. And Jalen Brunson at 43.5 fantasy score absolutely needs to be considered. It's crazy. He was just at 45, 46 the other day. Now 46, 37, 49, 49, 55. Now throw out the last 5 as far as performance because it doesn't matter. What you need to be looking for is floor and ceiling. In the last 5 games, his floor was 37, his ceiling was 55. So you know at 43 that that's right in the middle. It's middling, if will, okay? So 43.5 fantasy score. Well, let's go take a look. Jalen Brunson, 1.24 fantasy points per minute with a 30% usage rate. Now keep in mind, Randall and Anunoby are still out of the mix. Hartenstein's coming back into the mix, but he does have an Achilles injury. If you wanted to go with Hartenstein's fantasy score and take a shot there, I wouldn't hate it. I don't know how it's going to be if he's going to be limited. That's a serious injury, so we don't really know what's going on there. He does have a massive ceiling, okay? Can he hit a massive ceiling? Yes, but he is coming back from injury. I would probably keep it to 1 or 2 slips max with Hartenstein, but absolutely he needs to be considered. And Jalen Brunson has 50-point fantasy potential upside in this matchup. He needs to be considered as well. Now, if you go to the calculator and take 1.24 and multiply it times 35, Brunson does play big minutes. You get 43.4. His line is 43.5. It's going to be right in the mix, but the fact is Brunson sometimes will play 38 to 39 minutes. The dude just plays minutes. That, my friends, is what he does. So consider him, consider Hartenstein. I wanted to talk about those two real quick. I did. Now it's time to move on. Remember, 12 games. I could literally have a 2-hour YouTube video of talking, preaching, and cooking working for the YouTube faithful. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit off my game. I had a 7-day break. I got to get back into the YouTube grind, and I got to get back into the mix myself, folks. I'm a human being, but that doesn't mean I don't plan on crushing this slate tonight. So if you are new to this channel, know this, no matter what the video is, no matter how the video does, I will be here day in and day out preaching the gospel to you people about fantasy sports and helping you along the way. All right, win, lose, or draw, your boy will be here. So smash that like button like your mama taught you, right? I'm begging you. Now let's talk about a man who needs no introduction, and absolutely this is Narrative Street chef's kiss, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Luka Doncic is gonna hop into the mix, and he's gonna absolutely crush, at least I hope, because I got all the coin on him tonight. He's gonna be the anchor in my daily double. Luka's gobbling at 24.5 points. Bang! I'm gonna literally watch him step back, bang, count it, bang, count it. Behind the back layup, assist, rebound, do it all, because Captain Crush is gonna need it like I need air. Now you can go to his fantasy score over here at 58.5. Where is it? Bang, it's in the mix. Miss me with the Kyrie's playing and blah blah blah. I get all that. Luka's a walking, talking triple-double machine capable of 60 to 65 fantasy points. It doesn't matter if Michael Jordan number 23 is on the court, okay? Luka commands a massive and insane 1.74 fantasy points per minute with an astonishing 36% usage rate. Now you may say, Captain Crush, what is a usage rate? I'm new to gambling. I don't know what it is. I'm new here. It's every time the player has the ball in his hands quantified into a number. 36% of the time, Luka has the ball in his hands. That entire team is Luka and Kyrie. That's it. Now, what do we know about the narrative street with Luka and the Phoenix Suns? He cooks them like it's his job. In fact, it is his job. So Luka can absolutely be in the mix. Do I need to go to the calculator and make my case? 1.74, multiply it times 37, because that's Luka's minutes, and bang, you get 64. It's crispy. And I will take my shot on the man, the myth, the legend, Luka Doncic. 58.5 fantasy score. The Goblin will probably be the anchor in my daily double, which is my 2x that I provide to my Discord on a daily basis, which will be posted later on for those of you that are in the court, and the new members that join, you will see it under the Captain Slip tab. Now, we're going to talk about Luka's first half fantasy too, okay? Now, here's the deal. Not all of these are going to be relevant, but the fact is, if you look at his last 5 first half fantasy at 30 head to head, 38 on January 24th, 40 on Christmas Day, 18 in 2023, which doesn't matter. That was an old a year ago. Same thing with the 2022. Honestly, he played 17 minutes and 3 minutes. Who knows what happened there? But the fact is, you can see the ceiling in the last 2 that were recent from this season. 40 and 38. Now, that's his first half fantasy. Now, his points were at 30.5. They moved it up to 31.5. It opened at 30. I still think it has some wiggle room at 31.5, but I, again, am taking the Goblin. It's an 8-point differential. My model projects him for 35. But even here, as you can see, he cooks the Phoenix Suns. He dropped 50 on Christmas Day. That's just who he is. That's just what he does. We've all seen the Booker meme. They're 15th in points allowed, 23rd in points allowed to point guards if you look a little deeper. And if you're interested in this application, I also teach this in my Discord. It is Outlier or Outlier Bet, whatever you want to call it. The link is in the description. Click it. You'll get 30 days free. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. No, thank you, Captain Crush. Okay, so go back over here and you can go to the first half if you're afraid of a blowout, which that game should stay close. You can type in Luka the GOAT and you can go to 30 fantasy score and take more if you'd like. All of these are in the mix. He will probably be the thumbnail. I usually make the thumbnail ahead of time. I didn't today because, again, there's 12 games. There's going to be role player value coming down the pike, and I, my friends, am going to be trying my best to find it, attack it, crush it, because that is just what I do. If you don't believe me, ask them in the comment section. I just cooked NHL and college basketball using strictly game theory and mathematics, and we got the sweep. We swept it. So now I need NBA to come back and do me that much better. Pause. Nope, resume. We're good. We're talking about the NBA there. We're good. So let's go back over here to the NBA. And if you did catch that collaboration with me and Skywalker and Sharp Bets, you'll be able to know that I talked about Denny Avdija. His PRA was 25.5. It's now 26.5, I believe. But listen to me carefully. The books have Denny Avdija going under everything. They did bump his R plus A, which was 10.5, 11.5, which I did tout. Even at 11, I think it needs to be considered, but all of these need to be considered, folks, okay? Deni Avdija is on a tear right now. Sometimes the books are late to the party. They don't adapt. All of these are being juiced under. I know Kuzma's back. The matchup's absolutely dog water for him. I get all that. But since Gafford left, the man has a fire lit underneath him. He's tired of being poverty. He's tired of being a terrible representation of our nation's capital. And maybe, just maybe, the human element in Mr. Deni Avdija has caught fire, and we, the gamblers and bettors and fantasy sports players, can attack it and ride that train one more night, one more time. He was my play of the day a couple days ago before the break on Valentine's Day, whenever it was, and the man dropped a 40 piece, 43 real points, and the books had him going under, and I was so confident in it that I had him in $800 worth of slips. My brothers and sisters in Christ, please, I'm begging you, forget everything you know and consider Deni Avdija one time. Again, the matchup is bad, so if I can't sell you on his PRA or his points or anything, I would probably just stick to his R plus A. Again, it did get bumped from 10.5. You can still probably get it on Parlay Play. Use code CRUSH, Sleeper code CRUSH, Chalkboard code CRUSH. You get the free trial in my Discord. You get it all. Plus, you'll get better lines. Again, I told y'all the matchup was bad. Look at this versus small forward. Ranked second and ranked fourth allowed. Denver is tight defense against small forward without pausing, friends. No pause there. They are a tight matchup. Read my lips. But the fact of the matter is this: Denny's been on beast mode, and I will continue to ride this train until I am forced off. I'm playing with house money. The man's been cashing me, and I ain't getting off anytime soon, much less pausing. So for everything that is holy, matchup be darned, consider Mr. Deni Avdija, and that's all I got to say about that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to discuss is Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Remember, LeBron James, the GOAT of all GOATs, is not playing tonight. This matchup is going to be the marquee game, Warriors-Lakers. We already know that these two teams are huge franchises, dynasties, and LeBron's out of the mix. So you're going to have to take a look at the following, all right? You have these three gentlemen here. I wouldn't play more than two of them max together, maybe even just one, unless you're running it back with like Curry or something like that. So be it. Austin Reeves' fantasy score at 33.5. Given the matchup, given LeBron's out, it's too low. I'm taking it. If he sells, he sells. Now, you have to decide, Russell or Reeves. You can flip a coin. Captain Crush, he's got the rigged coin on standby. Heads, it's Reeves. Russell is tails. It happened to land on tails. I will be having some exposure to D'Angelo Russell tonight, but it's literally a 50-50 which one of those is going to go off. And the dart from the Lakers tonight is none other than Mr. Open the Hatchie Murrah, 16.5 real points. I honestly think that he's in the mix. He can get it done. I love it. And one of these three will probably be someone that breaks the slate tonight for DraftKings. And I will have exposure to all three, with Austin Reeves being the main guy in the mix. Now, again, there is a ton of games and a ton of things, so I'm going to talk about this all later today on the live stream at 4:30 Central Time. That's the Lord's time zone. Now listen to me carefully. I'm going to walk you through it one more time for the guys that skip through the video. You go to CaptainCrush.net, you click Gold Package, you go to 1 month. You're a new member, first time user. Captain Crush is hooking you up, all caps. I know you love that caps lock, so does your boy. You get to go crush 50, and check this out. Apply, bang, $12.50. That is my gift from me to you to get you in the mix, because I honestly believe you're going to get in. You're going to see your boy on the live stream. You're going to love the community. You're going to cash. You're going to get the projection sheet, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I've been poverty for months, and now Captain Crush and his community is going to lead me out of poverty, and maybe, just maybe, collect a W here and there. So $12.50, the literal price of a Starbucks coffee and breakfast sandwich. Crush 50, all caps. I'll see you in there today at 4:30 Central. Because remember, whenever there's 12 games, there's going to be lines and role players and news that comes down the pike. And most of you guys work. You're doing God's work, 9 to 5s, whatever it is. And I'm there crunching these, sitting in this leather chair, sitting on my hiney, my fanny, getting it all, crunching it all together for you to pass it on to you. Now, the last person that I'm going to talk about is none other than the wagon himself, Curry. He is your de facto run back for that Lakers game. I don't care about Kuminga. I don't care about Clay. I certainly don't care about Draymond Green or Andrew Wiggins. But I will say this: Andrew Wiggins at 25.5 14.5 fantasy score, he does need to be considered, okay? Absolutely consider him. This video is going way longer. I did want to cover Bradley Beal as well, so I'm just going to go over it briefly. Make sure that you consider Bradley Beal's fantasy at 29.5 if he's not on a minutes restriction. That is way too low for this matchup. You could use him and Luka as your 1v1 optos, and then for this Warriors-Lakers game, Wiggins would be the dart, and Curry would be the king of the road. Now, we're buying high. Remember, we got Curry at like 39 fantasy points a little while ago, and I told you guys it was criminal, and now he's coming off of an all-star break where he made his legend in legacy secure. He is the best shooter the NBA has ever seen. It's a fact. Miss me with the nonsense. I don't care. I don't care for Curry as a person, but the fact is, when it comes to the hoop, the ball, what he does, he's amazing, okay? Just like me. You may not care for me, the person, but when it comes to what I'm doing, you got to put it into your veins, because Captain Crush is cooking day in and day out. Whether you like it or hate it, you got to respect it. And it's the same with Mr. Curry here. 44.5 fantasy score is just too low. If we get a competitive game, which I think we will. In fact, I believe this game's on TNT. Curry could soar for 50 plus fantasy score tonight. Absolutely consider him in your contest, and figure out if you're going to run it back with Davis, his 17.5 R+A, Austin Reeves fantasy, D'Angelo Russell, whatever have you. Now, folks, if you are new to this channel, you may think, wow, this is long-winded just for picks. Folks, my goal, my job is to teach you the right ways, to get you thinking about who to choose, because you're always going to feel better about making your own reads and your own slips than just blindly tailing some random guy that you see on YouTube, okay? I try to get you guys thinking the right way. Absolutely, you can tail my plays. You can tail me till you're blue in the face, but there's no guarantees here. The only guarantee is that I do my best, all right? So with all that out of the way, remember, if you want to go check out the live stream collaboration I did until I can get it up on my own channel, you can go to Skywalker's YouTube page. Just type in the YouTube DFS Skywalker. It'll show up under live streams. We covered a lot of stuff. I had a good time. We'll be doing more of those where we actually cook slips during NBA. We covered bankrolls, process, everything. And I do all that stuff also in my Discord, guys. I teach you guys how to manage a bankroll, how to keep your money secure. We talk about all the things. Prizepicks is being forced out of a lot of states. I talk about what to do in that scenario. I do it all because, contrary to what a few defectors that are poverty want to say about me, they want to run their mouths, the fact of the matter is this: I care about my community. They are my family. I give 150 million% to these guys in my Discord, and the ones closest to me will tell you that I do that. So I'm expecting some new members given the 50% off promo code. So when you do join in, remember, keep a positive attitude. Try to come in to contribute. Don't come in to complain. And hopefully I see you guys in the live stream and we can get to know each other. And if you like the cut of my jib and you want to jip and jive with Captain Crutch, you want to cook with the greatest community leader that there is. I didn't say best better there is, because I'm not that arrogant, but the best community leader, because folks, my community crushes. It's that simple. It's not even close. Not only do I do giveaways where I spin the wheel and do random giveaways, I have other members that do their own little giveaway. Trina did a giveaway. RJ Senses, who I was talking about, he is the GOAT and the most kind, generous person that I know in this Discord. Brother RJ, I appreciate you. He keeps a low profile. He cooks his slips. He contributes. The man cooks, and that is what I'm fostering. I said it in the beginning. I'll say it again. That's how I'm going to close. I appreciate each and every one of you for inviting me onto your screens that you're on 24/7. Thank you very much for allowing me to do this. If you could smash the like button, it really helps me out. It helps get these videos out. I did take 7 days off, so the YouTube algorithm's probably going to punish me for that. It is what it is. We will get back into the mix. I'm going to start doing TikTok live streams and possibly YouTube live streams. Let's go. Free for everyone. Absolutely. I'll see you in the mix. Remember, CaptainCrush.net. The links are in the description. We will crush that live stream today at 4:30 Central. But for now, here's the salute. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.